Crystal Media Podcast Network.
This is Table for Two.
Welcome to Table for Two, our casual conversation with some of the heads of our companies in the country, specifically CEO level. And today we have joining us the CEO of National Digital Payments Network, Sindhir Berhad, short form is NDPX. And we'll have a chat with CEO Hafiz Haslen today about some of the challenges and joys in terms of being first-time CEO in his leadership role of such a nationally significant initiative. Hafiz, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So Hafiz, I want to kick off with something a little bit crispy. So around July the 15th, there was a tita.
Yep.
It was delivered by His Majesty the Sultan, and he did highlight NDPX as being, and I quote, among the number of national initiatives was NDPX, the development of a digital payment hub. The monarch went on to say that the efforts holds great potential in generating growth in cashless transactions through various current multimedia platforms.
Okay, first things first, it probably wasn't Hafiz being mentioned, but it was NDPX. So I think it was a little bit weird, I think, at the point. After the Tita, I got a whole flurry of messages from everyone, left, right, and center, and said, hey, did you know you got mentioned in the Tita? And I was just like, what do you mean, right? And then we looked up the video and I was sent the video and I thought, oh, wow. So that's when we knew, this thing's getting real and it's no longer a project that's, behind closed doors, behind curtains. And that's when, that's where the pressure really started to build up. I mean, before then it was already building up. But that's when, that's when we knew as a team that, this was really, really real. But it was nice.
And hugely significant on a national level. So Hafiz, correct me if I'm wrong, this is your first role in terms of CEO, your first leadership role. So obviously this particular role is extremely product driven, service driven. Do you have the liberty of growing your team's culture, creating a great place to work? Tell me a little bit about how you divide that.
Yeah. So we built NDPX starting from 2022, I think, November. So entering next month, it'll be 2 years. I've had the honor of building the organization from scratch. I think it's great because everything that I had learned about organizations at that point and even up to now, I've been able to sort of implement and build in the company itself. And it's sort of simple things like having an open office, having an office space where I sit with everyone else in the team. So it's literally to the point where my back is against my team's back. So they get to see what I'm doing and I'm there and I'm always approachable. That being said, I think being an organization that's going to be licensed by the central bank, there was a lot of groundwork in the sense of, say, complying with certain requirements that range from governance to technology to administration to finance that needed to be put in very early on. The other good part about it is that we get to build the culture from scratch. So everything I knew at that point that was good and not good, I could and still am implementing. And those that I know weren't so good are obviously things that I sort of wanted to get away with. So sort of do away with. So simple things like open communications or no hiding behind closed doors or just simply reducing or breaking boundaries of hierarchy, of bureaucracy, all those things I did away with. So I think one of the cool things about running this organization is that I get to make decisions, or we get to make decisions fairly quick, sort of just to keep up with the fast-paced environment that we're in. So oftentimes in larger organizations, you have a lengthier approval process, but with this one, it's a little bit more streamlined and an idea might come up and probably, within the week we'll be able to say, okay, well, this is great, let's do it. So that's really nice. I mean, on top of that, I think while it might not have been purposefully done, we have a really young team. So the average age is less than 30. I'm one of 3 employees above the age of 30 right now. But again, it wasn't voluntarily done. It wasn't done on purpose. Because the first thing that we do when I interview virtually everyone, the first thing I ask them is not sort of what their degree was in or what skills they had. It was really how they thought about things. And if they have that solution-oriented mindset, growth-oriented mindset, and those are obviously good stuff for me.
What do you think they'll say about you in terms of your style of leadership, in terms of you running this, I guess it's kind of a startup company?
Yeah.
What would they say about you?
Yeah, I don't know. To get a real idea of that, I think you need to ask them.
What do you want them to say about you?
That I'm understanding, that I don't hide things, that I try to be as open as possible. I want them to know that I take care of their careers, because that's very important for me. And I take care of their well-being, ultimately. Obviously, projects aside, the project will run its course, but alongside that is how they build their careers and what their careers will look like in a few years' time. And that's something that I put a lot of emphasis on. Yeah.
So, Hafiz, when you were a young boy, maybe 4 or 5, I had the pleasure of teaching you in kindergarten. And I remember you as being this quiet, thoughtful child, and you always colored in the lines. And there's a whole psychological thing about understanding why a child will or will not color within the lines. Obviously, coloring the lines is conformity, is self-regulation. Hafiz, do you still color in the lines?
I do, in a sense that I actually don't know how to answer this. Yes, I do color within the lines, in a sense that I'm, like it or not, I still have this perfectionist sort of tendencies, which force me to sort of color within the lines and make sure that those lines are colored maybe 95, 100%. But if those lines sort of indicate sort of playing within the rules of the game, by all means, certainly it is. There is no room for coloring outside the lines in the field that I'm in right now. It's a highly regulated industry, and all of it is sort of built upon customer trust. So whatever we do, we need to make sure that it's correct, and we need to make sure that we build everything so that people trust our services. Now, are there opportunities to color beyond the line? I think so, but those are sort of limited. But certainly, I think we still have to play within those boundaries.
So it's about, yes, take risks, but keep within the lines.
Yeah. So it goes a little bit further than that. I like to tell my team that it's okay to sort of, in a different context, it's okay to sort of fail a little bit. And if you take it along those same lines, you can sort of color beyond those lines. I'll give you that safety for you to do it, but not when it matters the most. So you can color beyond those lines if it's a something that we're testing, if it's something new. But if it's something that is not required of us to do, stay within those lines and don't even think about going beyond those lines.
So you mentioned earlier on that you're a perfectionist. Does that hinder you or help you in your line of work?
Both. Both cases. I think both. I've seen it happen both ways. I think it has hindered me before, where things would get sort of derailed because of these tendencies. I'd say like, no, don't do it yet because we don't know. It's not perfect yet. It's not perfect. But on that same vein, I think there's a lot of benefit to it, because I think just excellence, being able to do something really, really well, that shows a lot. So, I mean, things that we create internally or even try to build, all of it have to carry a certain level of, won't say perfection, but have to carry a certain level of quality. And that quality is set by me. I need to make sure that it reaches this quality before someone else sees it. And so far, I think I've managed to somehow convince my team that you can reach certain levels without compromising too much. And then it works. So it works both ways.
So this is a new service in the country. It's never been done before. You're also setting up your own team from scratch. How has it been in terms of your stress level, and how are you managing that if the stress level has been high?
Yeah. Good thing is I have a good support system inside of work and outside of work. So inside of work, I have a great team. Like, no doubt, probably some of the best guys I've worked with my entire career.
How many people are we talking about, Hafiz?
Including me, there's 10.
Okay, it's quite...
Only. Very small.
Yes.
Very small. But I think it helps because I handpicked them and I've seen them sort of grow over the past 2 years, and they've been great. So they know exactly what they need to do, and they've been doing it really well. So whatever stress that I'm getting, whatever work that I get, it's all sort of distributed and they're able to manage that. But of course, I can't give everything to the team. The other support system is the support system at home, which is effectively just my wife. She's my soundboard and she's my main advisor. Anything, everything, sort of certain scenarios, I'll sort of run past her. I'll say, hey, this thing happened. Of course, barring all the details, this thing happened, I reacted this way. What do you think? And then she'll basically tell me, well, that's not you behavior. Or that's okay, but you should consider doing so and so. The good thing about her is that she has this unbiased sort of view of me, and she'll tell me what you did was wrong or right relative to how I am as a person. Irrespective of whether I'm at work or as a person, she'll say, no, that's probably not the best, you need to fix it, or yeah, it's okay, don't worry about it, or yeah, that was a hard day, here you go. So she deserves a medal because she's my soundboard, but at the same time she deals with everything back at home with the two boys. So I owe a lot to her, certainly.
On LinkedIn, this is how you caption yourself: father, husband, and CEO, in that order. Was that deliberately done? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Of course. CEO is a little bit different, right? You can sort of take off that hat, hang it by the door. As soon as you enter your home, you put that CEO hat, hang it by the door, and then there you are. But with the other two, I think it's impossible to sort of get rid of. Like it or not, you're still a father. Like it or not, you're still a husband. So it was deliberate. It has always been deliberate. My family and my wife come first, then my job. Of course, it's not saying that my job is of lesser importance. It's just that at the end of the day, you come home to them. You don't come home to the job. And I made a very conscious decision to say that the job is the job. Whatever happens at the job, you don't bring home. I mean, I do bring home to the wife, but not to the kids. So I think, yeah, that's really what it means.
So have you mastered the art of coming home, hanging up the CEO hat, and leaving work behind after you soundboard off your wife?
No. I've not mastered it, no. It still happens. She would actually tell me off for being on my phone, replying to emails, after 6, saying, you spent already 8 hours at work, you still need to answer some more emails, you need to get on calls, and I'll just say, okay, then I'll put my phone down. So it's a good reminder for me, certainly.
So why do you do that? Are they pressing issues? Does work actually carry on after 5:30?
Sometimes no. When there are pressing issues, yes, certainly. But a lot of times it's just naturally, naturally, there's a tendency to do it, right? I think you also probably experience the same. You first thing you open is you check your emails and see start reading them, and then you go down this rabbit hole of opening more emails, and you get in touch with maybe Din to say, hey Din, we need to do this. Happens to me all the time. So I think it's good because my wife puts that line in the sand to say, hey, stop it. It's not important, deal with it tomorrow. And she's my CEO, so I'll listen to her.
Now your wife has a job.
No, that's her. She's at home.
Oh, okay, so she's there ready to receive you. She has to get herself mentally ready as well, I'm sure.
Yeah.
To come in with that impartiality.
Yeah.
Going back to your blurb, okay? After father, husband, CEO, I've been doing a bit of stalking myself. Passionate, energetic, and ready to pounce at anything that catches my eye. Let's talk about that.
Remember, right before this, I told you how I have this focus issue,
Yes.
but it's not that I tend to break focus amongst many different things. But if I get focused on a certain thing, I get very focused, sort of extreme focus. So it could be anything, right? I'll start working on something and I'll just won't stop until I finish that thing.
Give me an example. Not work related. Or is it always
No.
focus around work?
No. It's not always work. One is I picked up running. So ever since I started picking up running, it jumped into that rabbit hole. It's been 5 months, and I'm just laser focused trying to get that goal.
What's the goal?
So the goal is to run a 5K under 25 minutes.
25 minutes?
Yeah.
And how are you doing with that?
I don't know. I'll need to test it soon, very soon. Another example is there are other goals, right? So like maybe it's a book that I'm reading. I'll probably go hours at a time, just try to finish that book until I finish that book, then I'll put it down. It's come to the point where sometimes I need to get told to stop before I even stop. So that's the one thing that is sort of good and bad.
Yes.
I'll know I'll keep driving, but I won't know how to stop myself.
Does that mean that you're not a very good multitasker?
Yeah, I'm not that great.
And apparently that's the way to go, actually. Not multitasking. It's actually getting one thing done, finishing it, and then moving on to the next thing.
Like it or not, I think we still need to multitask a little bit. Yeah, I'm not great at it though.
So is this going to be a problem for you, or is this something which you're going to use as your CEO superpower?
I think it's a superpower.
Yeah.
Certainly, right? You get you keep driving until you get the job done, then you can rest a little bit.
So is NDPXN a singular goal for you right now? And how will you know at what point you've achieved the goal?
Okay, within NDPX, you have many goals. The first goal is being able to launch. That's ultimate goal number one. We've been pursuing that for, come November, 2 years. But the whole project life cycle, it's been, I don't know, maybe 3-4 years already. So we achieved this goal. I can sort of take my foot off the pedal a little bit and say, okay, we've got this. Now let's work on other goals. Those other goals, I think we're already starting to do. So as NDPX, launch first, enhance, that's goal number 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that'll all come within the next maybe 18, 24 months. I think that's professionally, that's what I want to achieve.
And what motivates you to driving towards these goals? Are you competitive with yourself? What is it that keeps you so laser driven?
There's one thing. I think I hold extremely high standards for myself to achieve. So that's a double-edged sword of some sort. If I don't achieve it, I'm beating myself. So I need to make sure that whatever I put my mind to, I need to meet these certain levels. And it could be anything, like running, it could be NDPX, it could be sports. It's just being able to set goals and then try to achieve them.
Is it about mastery for you, Hafiz? Is it about mastering one thing?
Yeah, I think so. But one thing, but many at the same time. So concurrently, I mentioned running, but there's also a few other things that I'm trying to pursue.
Like what?
There's a lot of Jiu Jitsu going on. So getting really good at Jiu Jitsu has always been on my mind. I've been going like 5 years at it, I think. And I think it's going okay so far. That one, not really strong, hard goals. It's just, just try to get better every time I go. Running, it's more concrete. Professionally, I'm trying to achieve other things as well. I'm trying to further my studies a little bit and get a little bit more certifications. Yeah.
So you sound intense. What do you do for absolute fun and giggle?
I like to spend time alone, actually, in solitude. It's something I picked up, I think, in uni. And if there's one way to sort of unwind properly, I found that just being alone, sort of in my own thoughts, really helped. Especially to be able to reflect on what happened, or what has happened, or what is going to happen. That's sort of one of my coping mechs that I found way back when. But then way back when, it was when I didn't really have a choice. You're always in solitude. So I sort of got used to being in solitude, and now I look for solitude a lot.
Why were you always in solitude?
I think it's uni. In uni, you're always in solitude, right? At the end of the day, after classes, you go back to your room, you're alone, sort of do your own thing, you play games, but then you're in your own mind all the time. So solitude is, I think, one of the best ways that I find to sort of unwind. Apart from unwind, reflect. There's two parts. So if either in solitude or I find sports to do. Those are sort of my two channels for unwinding.
Sports to do, so solo sports. So the running.
Running. So nowadays it's running, but it's also Jiu Jitsu. It's also I used to be rugby.
Solo.
No. It's the complete opposite of solo. But that one's nice because once you sort of enter the mats, you don't really think of anything else. So you're there. You're sort of immersed in the whole environment. You don't really think about anything else. You're just trying to a certain extent, survive. So that's the nice escape.
Okay, so help me understand. You need your solitude. It's a form of recharge and reflection for you. Do you allocate certain times in your day for this? How does that play out in the day?
I try. So first thing in the morning, I get some time. So that's between, say, 5 and 7. Before the boys wake up, I get my alone time.
How old are the boys, by the way?
4 and 2.
Whoa.
4 and 3.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So at 7 onwards is when you gotta get them ready for school, and that's when things start. But before then, I get some time alone. At night, after they sleep. But nowadays it's great because I get to spend that time with my wife as well. So it's sort of in solitude, but also with the wife.
So in the morning and in the night.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a coffee drinker, is that right? So you'll wake up at like 4:35, you'll have a coffee, and then what will you do?
So I'll wake up at 5:15. I'll do my prayers. I'll read a book.
What kind of books?
There's plenty. It really depends on the day. But nowadays, I'm trying to finish this book called The Black Swan by Nassim Nicholas Taleb. Amazing book so far.
Fiction.
No. It's sort of, I would say it's philosophy. Modern day philosophy, I think. His books really teach you how to frame things and think of things from sort of a different light. So this one's really good. It's related to sort of risk and being able to anticipate certain events and how to build a little bit of resilience. There are a few other books that I've read from him, pretty good. But I spend a lot of time reading books. I think this year alone between, 10, 15 books already.
Do you have like a goal for how many books you read in a month?
No, I used to. At the start of the year, I was doing, I think, four books a month. But then that stopped, I think, halfway through the year because I picked up running. So whatever time I allocated to reading books, I now go for a run. So I sort of had to split between the two.
So either reading or running?
In the morning, yeah.
So Hafiz, currently you're reading The Black Swan. And if you're not reading, you're going to be running.
In the morning, yeah.
Okay, and then what happens after you run?
I'll come back, I'll get ready, and then get the boys ready, and then I'll have my coffee. So now it's very specific. I'll have my coffee on the way to work. It's come to a point where it's a habit, and I sort of crave it if I don't have it. It works many ways, but it's also nice alone time in the car, drinking coffee. It sort of gives me some time to think as well.
Do you ever talk to yourself in the car?
I have thoughts. I don't talk to myself. I have thoughts. Yeah.
So do you listen to podcasts in the car or music in the car?
Often music. Podcasts, not so much. I've tried listening to podcasts, but it doesn't really stick.
So what kind of music do you listen to?
Oh, no.
Nowadays,
I'm on this Linkin Park binge with their new singer. I think it's going well. So I started listening to them. The 2 new songs, and then I started listening to their old songs again. And I thought, wow, this is great, good memories. But apart from that, it's a lot of R&B, a lot of say J. Cole is really nice to listen to. Kanye West, yeah.
Yeah, see that works for me. Linkin Park shocked me a bit. And the reason why I asked is because you also put down in your LinkedIn that you speak English, you speak Malay, and you speak coffee. I gather that's what you were saying, as well as strength training. So I know that you love your coffee. Are you a coffee addict?
No, I don't think addict is very strong.
Yes. But with your level of focus, I wouldn't be surprised if you have an addictive personality.
I have 1 cup. Nowadays, it's 1 cup per day.
That's it?
Yeah. I've learned to sort of... So I drink coffee not for the caffeine most of the time. It's for the taste, right? Like how others would drink wine and sort of tell you that it tastes a certain way. I drink coffee and I'll tell you, well, this is great coffee, or it's not so great coffee.
You're a connoisseur.
Yeah, I think that's a nicer word
So
compared
you know
to
about the fruitiness, the acidity level.
Yeah. So that's one of the things where I got into, and it's been maybe eight years or so, could be 10 now, where I started to make my own coffee, and it's a whole process in itself, where you grind it, you sort of weigh it out, you start pouring your own coffee, and you make it yourself. It's nice. You
know what they say, Hafiz? They say the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And I'm hearing that you don't just make coffee, you have to learn about it. You have to know about the calibration. You have to know about the history. So I'm seeing a real pattern here. At home, are you messy or tidy?
If you ask my wife, I'm always messy. But no, I'm not. I don't think I'm tidy. I think I am messy, but it's sort of orchestrated. I'll know where my mess is. I know where my things are, even though it's a mess. There is some order to the chaos, for sure. I'll know where things are, even though it does look a little bit messy.
Does this apply to your office environment and the way you do work and manage your folders and emails and files?
Okay, emails, files are okay. Emails, I need to make sure that I read, or at least open all my emails, read them and make sure that they're all done. So I'm not one of those guys where you see 10,000 emails unread. Are you one of those, Jen?
Of course not. Who would be like that? So you have to kind of tick. You don't like anything excess. Okay. So when you get to the office after singing Linkin Park and having a coffee, which you don't like to drink because you're not addicted, because you like the flavor, you get to the office.
Yeah.
And then you got to go through all of your emails and reply to them.
Yeah. It's either reply or at least open, acknowledge, and see what I need to do next. Then
it's so important to you to do that.
No, there's some form of accomplishment, right? I need to make sure that, by going from like 50 to 0 in the day, and it's like, okay, done. Okay, that's when I know everything that has been communicated to me, I've either read or actioned on, then I can move on.
Okay, to that point, when it comes to dealing with work in the morning, do you believe it's better to tackle the low-hanging fruit in corp speak first, or tackle the hardest job task first?
Honestly, it depends. Sometimes the low-hanging fruit has higher priority. Then it's no-brainer, right? You do it. But a lot of the times, the hardest stuff, naturally, you don't want to deal with because it's harder to do, right? You always sort of push it to the back of your to-do list and say, like, I'll do it next time.
So you do that? Oh,
Some.
You are human. Oh my God.
Some.
So there's a form of procrastination sometimes?
I wouldn't call it procrastination.
Of course not.
It's prioritization.
Right.
I'll know if it's important enough, I'll do it. But if it's sort of like, you can gauge, right? You think it's important. You think it's important for the person, but not for you or your organization. You have this sort of rationalization or contemplation going on and say, like, I know where you're coming from, but these are a set of priorities. Let me focus on this first and I'll come back to you, right? Like it or not, you have to prioritize. It happens every day, right? Everyone comes to you with urgent requests. But then you look at it and say, like, okay, in the grand scheme of things, how important is this for us? If it's really important, we'll push it, we'll do it. If it's not so important, like, push it down the line, like it or not.
And you're right. Just because it's important doesn't mean it's always difficult. It could be very easy, but also very important.
Yes.
That's very perspectifying. Hafiz, obviously now running NDPX from the ground up. There's been a steep learning curve. Have you reached the day when you come into the office and think, hey, I know what's going on today. I know what I'm doing. Are you there yet?
Yeah, I think so.
How do you know?
I mean, you'll know for sure. Like, it's come to a point really where our priorities are, so we're laser focused on our priorities, right? We know exactly what we need to do on a daily basis. We know what goals we need to achieve. So we come in and everyone's on the same page, and everyone be like, okay, we need to achieve this next. To help sort of contextualize and prioritize, every week I have this thing called stand-up, where we'll literally just stand up around our tables and I'll gather around and I'll say, okay, guys, I'm working on this week. What are you guys up to? So we'll go around and they'll tell us what they'll be working on. And that's the one point where I'll say, okay, go ahead, or they'll get my feedback on the spot and then they'll go about their day. And by the Friday, we'll have sort of a debrief and say, okay, how did we go? How did we achieve? Did we achieve? Did we not? And then the Monday again, we'll do it again. So even if I didn't know or didn't have a good idea of what's going on coming into the office on a Monday, I'll understand by about 9 o'clock what everyone's priorities are. And I'll tell them, look, deprioritize or prioritize this. This is coming up, we prioritize this instead. So that really, really helps. Yeah.
It's like that morning huddle thing. So everybody's literally standing up.
Literally standing.
You don't get too comfortable and just fire off.
Yeah, fire off. They'll know. At the start of the year, for about 7 or 8 months or so, I had to send a calendar invite, right? Remind everyone, 9 o'clock Monday, we're doing this. But nowadays, they don't even know. They don't anticipate that anymore. All they'll know is 9 o'clock, just stand up, I'll come. So everyone just huddles and says, okay, this is what we're going to do.
So, which brings me back to the start of the conversation. You said that you now believe you know how to be an effective leader based on what has worked and what hasn't worked in the past. Can we spend a little bit more time on that?
Yeah.
So obviously we want to lead a team in the same way we want to be led ourselves. So tell me a little bit about that.
There's a few, right? I always thought that giving, as an individual, I like having some autonomy. Being able to do certain things within certain reason, and not have to go back to your supervisors or bosses every 5 minutes or so and say, "Can I do this?" You need to be able to be given some autonomy, and you need to be able to empower people to do things. And to do that, obviously, underlying all of that means building a certain level of trust that's both ways. I trust you to get the job done, and you trust me to give the psychological safety to be able to do it. So one thing is really be able to empower and trust, empower, and then give a certain level of autonomy for you as staff of this organization to do certain things. That's something that I really appreciate. Second, I think it's really just being able to openly communicate, whether it's good or bad, how things are going, right? I have this thing where I try my best to follow it, where I praise in public, but I criticize in private. So I'll tell you, if you're doing a good job, I'll tell you you're doing a good job in front of everyone. But if I'm telling you you're doing a bad job, I'll bring you somewhere else and I'll tell you, hey, you know, what's going on? That's something that I have been practicing, and I think so far it has been working, for me at least. And I just think it's not right to sort of just criticize everyone in public, right? It's not something that I would appreciate happen to me. So why would I think that it would be something else that someone would appreciate? What other things? The sort of some things really just boil down to the culture that we're trying to build, right? As a small organization, everyone calls us a startup. You call us a startup as well. We are a startup. It's only been 2 years. Some of it also involves sort of how you carry yourself, how you dress, these little things. So, for example, the office, we have a no shoe policy here. Everyone who comes in, you take off your shoes, then you walk in.
Why?
I mean, you spend 8 hours in a day in the office, right? And you want to be comfortable, you want to get the job done, so you take off your shoes, then you go in. So we have that no shoe policy. It's not something that a lot of offices do, and we have had sort of awkward situations where we have ambassadors come in, or
they have to do it too.
Yeah. Like we have a board come in and our board members take off their shoes. They also understand and acknowledge what we're trying to achieve. So again, it's sort of trying to make it a nice, conducive, comfortable environment for everyone to work in.
But you're wearing corporate attire on top.
So I'm not always in corporate attire.
Okay.
So I would come in at times with just a polo and sort of jeans. I would come in with a t-shirt and jeans as well. And everyone has also learned that, look, yes, we need to look presentable when we have certain things going on. If we're meeting with stakeholders, then yes, dress presentable. But if you're going to be in the office 8 hours in a day, again, you need to be comfortable to do a good job, right? So I'm going to give you that comfort so that you can do a good job. I trust you to do that.
You didn't come from this kind of career background, though.
No, it's complete
Given your
opposite.
history, completely opposite.
Complete opposite.
So you managed to bring in a whole different culture. Would you have wanted this kind of working culture at your previous workspaces?
It's different now because I think previous offices, I think at DA, it's a lot more corporate. To get to DA, you need to walk into MOFI, the Ministry of Finance.
Right.
Just walking into the Ministry of Finance in jeans, you're turning heads, man. Right.
Well, you can't wear jeans to go in there, right?
So it helps that we're not within the Ministry of Finance.
Where is the office?
PGMB.
Oh, it's completely separate.
Across PowerPoint, yeah.
Okay.
So again, we're in the we're in this fintech space. Call it fintech, and then we're a startup, and then we also have a young team, and we're also trying to do things a little bit different. So we do get sort of comments every once in a while. So I would come in and, just this morning I was wearing white shoes, right? And the team looked at me and said, "You look very fintech." And I thought, "What do you mean? It's comfortable. It's white shoes. There's nothing wrong with it, So
Was that a compliment or a?
I don't know.
Huh.
We'll find out.
You look that's a good t-shirt slogan. Also, you're wearing white shoes today.
Yeah, exactly. It was today.
It was today. Very boys to men. I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
I like it. So I guess in that vein, Hafiz, there's a certain expectation of what a CEO, particularly one from DA, should look and behave like versus how it actually works given your industry, given your work culture as well. How is the team responding to that?
So far, it's okay. I think the team, they haven't told me this, but they come in t-shirts, they come in jeans, and
What if they haven't told you?
I mean, I think they like it. I don't mandate for them to wear, collared t-shirts or ties. I don't remember the last time I wore a tie. You don't have to wear, tailored pants. You just look presentable. If you're going to go meet the regulator, go look presentable, right? If you're going to go meet stakeholders, just make sure that you look professional. They can look professional if they want to. And again, daily, they come in professional anyway. It's just sort of maybe putting on a blazer or just taking it up a notch.
Hafiz, obviously being a CEO, particularly of this brand new nationally significant company, is a pretty big deal. How will you know when you have done a good job as we move into the conclusion of our conversation now? How will you know? What are the markers for you?
Okay, there's a few, right? I think one of the questions that was asked, and I'll reference it, is whether I prioritize the technical aspects or the human aspects of the company, the project. I'll know when I do for me at least, I will know if I've done my job well. It'll be when my team can run things smoothly without my interference. And I think they're very close to being able to do that. Where they're able to very confidently be able to carry out their tasks without much involvement from me. That's when I know I've succeeded, because that's when I know, okay, my team can do this without me. That's when you know that you've passed on everything you needed to pass on to them to make sure that they do a good job. There's a question of whether I appreciate the technical, the human HR aspect. Look, from a technical aspect, you probably already know this. I'm very detail oriented. I love these technical details. I'll need to make sure that I know the ins and outs of virtually everything. But systems come and go, and people are here to stay, right? In 5 years' time, you'll probably do a system change, and that comes with a whole new set of technical challenges, new specifications, all of which, by the way, you can learn. You put in a little bit more effort, you can learn virtually everything. But the people will always be here. And we serve a larger purpose, which is to make sure that our people are sufficiently skilled and are off to do greater things. So one of the things that I always tell the team is that I'm here to make sure that their careers are set, not just in NDPX, but also beyond that. And I'm quite pleased to say that a lot of them have really bright futures ahead of them. So I'll know if I succeed when the team can run by themselves. They can have a pathway mapped out for them, and they're well on that path to achieving it. And then just me making sure that they're there. Yeah.
I want to leave you with one final question, which has 3 parts to it. I want to go through these key people in your life, and I want you to choose a word which you would like them to say about you in your absence. Okay, let's begin first of all with your team. One word you'd love to hear them say. Hafiz is so... What would be the greatest compliment for you?
Understanding.
Okay. Let's move on now to your 2 little boys. Daddy, what do they call you?
Yeah, Daddy.
Daddy is so... How do you want them to think about you in one word?
Loving.
And finally, your wife, your sounding board. One word you'd love for her to say about you in your absence.
That's not one word. I don't think that's one word. It's impossible. No.
Maybe we'll ask her.
Yeah.
This has been our conversation with Hafiz Haslen, the CEO of NDPX, young, on the rise of a very important national initiative. Hafiz, loving, understanding, and question mark. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
This has been Table for Two. We'll see you next time.
The Crystal Media Podcast Network.